I got a big fish, but after that it was it, no more. So I thought I would just quickly show you how I set up my kayak, and some stuff I wanted to show. People commented that it was a bit tippy. I love this kayak. I could lift it up just with one hand. So, and then this is very important to me, and has enough stability for what I'm looking for. I actually stood up in it. It was enough to stand up in it, actually. So that was more than enough for me. So I use a Scotty rod hole holder, and I use this type of paddle holder that I absolutely love. So I don't use anything that way. I don't use anything that way. This one, the tiny one, I bought from I do believe AliExpress. It was a cheap one. You could adjust it that way, that way, that way. It could even be that way. And then the good part is this part is also adjustable. So like you could do this, and then you lift it up, it locks in. Now it doesn't move. You lift it up, it releases, it locks in, and basically that's it. And this is screwed. It's a very rigid one, and the way I use it is that way, basically. You could even do this, to be quite honest with you, and none of this. Just see, I use the second foot place, and none of this causes any difficulties for my feet. I have this type of anchor that is basically, this is how you hold it that way, and it releases. The handle, as you see, it is locked. I don't want that. I don't want it to bring me a ton of vegetation. As you see, my local lake is just full of vegetation. So I locked it. I don't want the thingies to open. And this is how you used to line fish. That's it releases that way. As you see, you hold it. Then I have this little thingy. I think it's a ram mount thing that I just lock in here, and if it just falls in the water, it would, and it would float. That's it. And also I use this brush gripper, which is fantastic. I really love it. And that's really it. Not much else. Then I use this part for my little tackle box. Try to keep it minimalistic. A water bottle here. And that's my setup. I'm gonna mount this thing back and show you how the anchor actually works. I'm going to demonstrate how I use this DIY. The cord is 2.2, and I'm going to demonstrate how I use it. So basically, what I do, hopefully the camera will record. So that's it. That's it. It's sat down, and I lock the cord this way. As you see, once the cord is locked, the handle, that is all there is. Not much. Then once I wanted to bring it back, I removed the cord from the little lock, and that is how it goes. So, and this middle thingy is just so perfect for it. Most of the time I try to use this brush gripper style. It's just easier. Even lily pads, it could hold me in place. As I said, the kayak is pretty light, but some of the times that one is also useful. Has this little bungee in the middle for my cell phone. Yeah, I use it that much, but that's it. Get the paddle out. I paddle. So this is, you see here, I have a friend right over there I have to sadly disturb. I'll show you some of the view, and I'll fish a little bit later over there. This vegetation is not a bad thing. You know, lakes in town and very close to town are packed with people over the weekend. People swimming, jumping in. This lake, though, because of the thick, dense vegetation all over it, it's just not very popular. Has a ton of bass. It has a lot of carp. Carp is actually invasive, so the government asks not to throw them back, but we throw them back, you know. And this is the guy that is, it's a bird. Hopefully I won't scare it. I'm gonna kind of stay away from it a little bit. Yeah, so about the kayak, people complain that it is not very stable, and that was my thought in the beginning, to be quite honest with you. And it could feel tippy. It has secondary stability, so if it reacts quickly, but it stops before you you flip. And I'm very happy at them. I don't think you'd ever flip a kayak. It's just not something that very often happens. And yeah, as you see, people jet ski, and but again, still not very popular lake, but still a lot of people are here. But back to the kayak. The kayak is awesome. I absolutely love it. There's nothing to complain about, really. It is just the fact that I could lift it up with one hand. It's just fascinating. I love that quality. It is 47 pounds, and it is genuinely, there's no complaint. As you kind of see, I'm pretty comfortable, and I will try to paddle and get up to speed. It's a great kayak. It really is such a good kayak. I love it, and I'm very picky. As you see, it goes pretty well. Turning a little bit here, but mostly, you know, there are a bunch of thick vegetation underneath, so it's very difficult to even judge it right here. But it gets up to speed pretty well, and I love it, and you will love it too. So there we go. So the last paddle, which one is it? It's kind of, here in my case, it determines which way it turns. Like for example, if I say last paddle is left, we'll slowly lean towards the right side. And let's see, my last paddle is the right one. Yes, as you see, but it is pretty good. So